But you're going to say, don't do it, and they're going to say, do it.
Well, no, come on now. Don't you?
I won't get you in trouble.
Today, we are looking at the 9 guests who turned Johnny Carson's Tonight Show, a program that ran for 4,531 episodes between 1962 and 1992, into the most replayed, most quoted source of comedy moments in the entire history of late-night television. Not all of them were professional comedians.
This one, John.
No.
I've spent a lot of time watching archival Tonight Show footage, and here's something I keep coming back to. Most people credit Carson's success to his monologue, his desk bits, his prepared characters. I disagree. The real genius of The Tonight Show lived on that couch, in those unscripted and uncontrollable moments when everything went sideways. That's what this list is about. These 9 guests didn't just deliver good interviews, they blew the roof off. Number 9, Buddy Hackett.
Did you, when you were first starting, use your real name of Leonard Hacker?
No, Butch Hacker.
Butch Hacker.
Yeah, B-U-T-C-H, Butch Hacker. There was a guy in the neighborhood named Butch Brown, big, tough guy. And I was about 10 years old, and they said, he looks like Butch, you know.
Well, Leonard doesn't sound for a comedian, right?
No, Leonard sounded like a waiter.
No, well...
Born Leonard Hacker on August 31st, 1924 in Brooklyn, Buddy Hackett was one of the most reliably explosive guests Carson ever put on that couch.
She turned around, he said, how old are you? She said, 28, why? He says, it says on your box you died 1784. It says on your
It's still...
It says on your... It was plainly written on our...
Still...
What are you telling me?
And here's a detail almost nobody brings up. In 1946, Hackett was offered a spot in the Three Stooges and turned it down flat. He wanted to build something entirely his own, and that decision defined everything that followed.
He said, yes. He reached in his pocket, he took out a cookie. He said, dog nearly... You're going to give him a cookie? He said, I just want to find his head so I can kick him in the box.
It loses...
That dog
No, it
really
loses...
got... He should have kicked him in his...
Rather than becoming 1/3 of a legacy act, Hackett carved a solo career that moved from the Catskill circuit to Broadway, then to Hollywood in films like The Music Man, The Love Bug, and It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
That reminds you, remember that routine I used to do?
Which one?
But you're going to say, don't do it, and they're going to say, do it.
Well, no, come on now. Don't you?
I won't get you in trouble. You've been on this job 32 years,
Not
right?
quite, no.
Why do you want to? You're not having any fun. Let me send you out into the world.
No.
His comedy ran on pure self-awareness. He built his whole persona around being, in his own words, short, fat, and Jewish. And he owned that framing with a confidence most polished comedians never reach.
Chucky told me a story, and he says, please don't tell it on the Tonight Show. And I give him my word of honor.
He said, please don't tell it?
Yeah.
And?
Here's the story.
Carson loved him because Hackett never needed a setup. The second he settled into that couch, the bit had already started.
So this guy has lost all his money, and he goes to his very rich friend, who Shacky called Harvey Silbert. I says, you got to give me some money. My wife is sick. She needs an operation. The doctor don't trust me. I am not giving you any money because you will spend that money betting the horses. No, I won't. I've got money for the horses.
When he received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Hackett didn't celebrate. He turned it into a punchline about the full circle from Brooklyn to Los Angeles.
And we're going to the bath, and it's up on the 5th floor. And we're at the elevator going to the 5th floor. Now, I forgot that I sat with him, so I'm going to go. What's the difference to me? I want to get the laugh for the moment. He says, you're not going to get in the bath. I said, what? He said, you said you wouldn't get in the bath. Promise you won't get in the bath. Say you won't get in the bath. I said, okay, I won't get in the bath. I got in the elevator. I mean, what do I care?
His son, Sandy, put it simply after Hackett's passing on June 30th, 2003 at 78. He was one of the greatest ever, a terrific father. Number 8, Bob Newhart.
And I said to my friend, where do they keep the teaser horses? And he said, we keep them all in this one corral. And I said, where's that? And he pointed out, and all the horses were walking around like, ha, ha, ha.
Bob Newhart is the most underrated guest on this entire list, and I'll stand by that. Most people slot him into the quiet, safe category, and that is the wrong read.
I pictured a guy coming up and getting on the plane. The clerk says, you're going to have to put your torch out. And I got the Olympic torch, and you can never put it out. He said, well, I don't. He said, I shouldn't even let you on with that dress on. He says, you get on the, you blow it out right now. You get on the plane. When no smoking sign goes out, you can light it, but you got to put it out again.
Born September 5th, 1929, Newhart released his debut album, The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart, in 1960, and it climbed to number 1 on the Billboard charts. Not the comedy charts, the overall Billboard charts, outselling rock records that year. 3 Grammy Awards, a Primetime Emmy, a Golden Globe, and eventually the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor followed.
A lot of German people do not have a sense of humor. A German would say, well, why would you call someone curly who has no hair? This doesn't make sense.
It's not funny, that.
And tiny is at least 350 pounds.
Yeah.
On Carson's show, Newhart worked in pure stillness, and that's precisely what made him lethal next to Carson's own dry wit. 2 men who understood that the pause was the punchline. After Carson's passing in 2005, Newhart reflected on his many Tonight Show appearances with genuine warmth. And you could hear in his voice what those years had meant to him.
The country and western songs, and I think it's one song, they changed the title, but it's the same song. The dog and the wife left, and I'm so lonely, and yeah, and that's...
But here's the thing that almost never gets mentioned. Buddy Hackett, number 9 on this very list, introduced Bob Newhart to his future wife, Ginny, on January 12, 1963. Comedy friendships ran that deep. Newhart passed on July 18, 2024, at the age of 94. Number 7, Dom DeLuise.
My role is to sit there and trust me. And the idea is, when you see these eggs, and when I say 3, you're gonna hit the tray. The eggs are gonna go in the glass. Yes, now, ready? Hold on. Are you crazy?
Born August 1st, 1933 in Brooklyn, the same borough that produced Buddy Hackett, Dom DeLuise was the opposite of subtle in every possible direction, and Carson's couch was exactly the right place for him. Mel Brooks put him in Blazing Saddles, History of the World Part 1, and Robin Hood, Men in Tights, and Burt Reynolds kept calling him back for a string of crowd-pleasing films through the 1970s and 80s.
When you die, can I have this car? I says, I'll give you the keys now. You know what I mean?
Are you kidding me?
Yes, I just went, ugh. You know,
But
it's
he said that with humor, I'm sure.
No, he's 14. He needs a car.
DeLuise also wrote and published popular cookbooks and talked about his love of cooking nearly as often as he talked about comedy. Throughout the 1970s, DeLuise and Reynolds sometimes appeared on Carson's show together, and those segments were completely uncontrollable, the most famous being a whipped cream pie exchange that left the entire audience in hysterics. In my experience watching those old clips, on what separated DeLuise from almost everyone else on this list was that his joy read as completely genuine, and you couldn't manufacture what he brought to a room.
There he was, in the head is where he was, strangely enough. He was in the bathroom, and he said, Daddy, I just went to the bathroom, and I flushed, and he said, I think I did it.
Reynolds confirmed it after DeLuise's passing on May 4th, 2009 at 75. Putting it this way, Dom always made you feel better when he was around. I never heard him say an unkind word about anyone.
How are you? Dorothy, how you doing, John? It's nice to be here on the Tonight Show.
Number 6, Tim Conway.
What, did you get mine? This is not gonna work, huh? Oh, okay.
Tim Conway is the most technically gifted physical comedian on this list, and that's not a close call.
Now I want to tell you, my dear friends, when it comes to liquor, as for me, I love it.
Cleveland born in 1933, Conway built his legend on The Carol Burnett Show by making his co-stars, and Carol Burnett herself, completely lose control on camera. So many times it became a defining feature of the entire program. 7 Emmy Awards total. Burnett's verdict on the man she worked with longer than almost anyone else in television. He was 1 in a million. His Tonight Show run stretched across more than a decade. He first appeared on Carson's show on September 15th, 1977.
Let me tell you why Tim Conway's funny, man. He thinks funny. He does funny things.
And returned repeatedly, including on March 17th, 1987, where he walked through his creation of the Dorf character. And again on October 15th, 1987.
blood circulation.
Oh, yeah, that's very important.
You sit-ups.
I used to think his line, "I think the Midwest is the heart of comedy," was just hometown pride talking.
My chest. This is the tough one, Johnny.
That's clean.
But after watching how he worked, that reads like a serious observation about restraint, patience, and the precision a slow burn bit actually requires.
You have never been on this show.
That's true.
And I know we have asked you before.
Well, you know, I didn't know you did this. You know,
Conway passed on May 14th, 2019 at 85. Number 5, Betty White.
Now, I did do some jokes about you and Alan Ludden, that's true.
We loved it.
Did you really?
Oh, we loved it. We were giving a wife-swapping party and nobody would come. I loved it.
Here's the contrarian take that most Carson retrospectives consistently get wrong. Betty White almost always gets described as a charming guest or a beloved presence on The Tonight Show, and that framing undersells her by a considerable distance.
Can I still stay on the show? Or
Oh, sure, no, you don't have to leave.
If you had known that,
Show was canceled, huh? Too bad. Next guest. Bring me out somebody who has their own show. This woman is appearing under
false pretense.
I'm sorry to hear.
Born January 17th, 1922, White built a career spanning more than 70 years, won Emmy Awards for The Mary Tyler Moore Show and The Golden Girls, and in 1983 took home the Emmy as host of Just Men.
It's fresh, monsieur.
Earning the title of Hollywood's First Lady of Game Shows. She holds the record as the oldest Emmy-winning actress in history. What made White extraordinary on Carson's show was her complete fearlessness, and the 1983 sketch with Carson is the clearest proof.
Looks like you should have slipped away to the little boys' room.
The two of them played a couple getting hit by crashing waves on an elaborate stage set. Parts of that set got knocked around. A wave machine physically knocked White off her feet, and the two of them just kept delivering their lines, completely drenched, as if nothing unusual had happened.
Wonderful vacation in Malibu.
Carson admitted afterward that he feared for White's safety and called it probably the most ambitious sketch we have ever taken on. White treated it like any other Tuesday. She passed on December 31st, 2021 at 99. Number 4. Jonathan Winters.
Always disturbed because I didn't know where I was. Unless you're an officer, you see, you're not clued in. And you're not given the top papers, which I felt I should have had at least 1 or 2 papers. And I kept asking questions, which is always trouble. Running up to a captain, or a colonel like yourself and saying, "Where are we, sir?"
Jonathan Winters, born in 1925, is the most influential comedian on this list. And that's not a popular opinion, but the data backs it up clearly.
Had a thing happen. I was painting the other night, and some glue spilled on the floor, and I forgot, just phase out. And here was glue just all over, and my cat came down, and I noticed Kitty was quite still.
Robin Williams, who most people would rank among the greatest improvisational minds who ever worked, publicly named Winters his comedy mentor and credited him as a direct inspiration on his own approach.
One time, some highway, a major highway, and I was sitting like this in the snow. And State Highway Patrolman came up and he said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes, you can. I've been meditating over whether this vodka's gone or still there."
11 Grammy nominations across Winters' career, with wins in 1975 for a children's album and again in 1996 for a comedy album, along with appearances in over 50 films, a Primetime Emmy, and the 1999 Kennedy Center Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. On The Tonight Show, Winters would settle into the guest chair and simply become someone else.
I don't think I got your name.
Didn't you?
No, I didn't, sir.
Buck Edelhofer. I hope you don't mind either one of you if I choose.
No, sir. Not a bit.
Well, I always have. Ever since I was 6 years old, I always had a bunch of stuff in the right side of my face.
Just like ball players, huh? Just like ball players do that, huh?
I suppose.
Live without warning, fully improvised, and Carson reportedly had no idea what was coming on any given night. That left Carson doing something extraordinary, coaxing out the bit during the interview itself, improvising alongside a man who refused to be predicted. And this is the detail that almost never gets cited. Carson's own recurring character, Aunt Blabby, one of his most beloved bits across the show's entire run, traced directly back to Winters' Maude Frickard persona.
Oh, well. You bet your preparation inks they do. Thank you.
Winters didn't just appear on the show absorbed him. He passed on April 11th, 2013 at 87. Number 3, Richard Pryor.
Went out in the streets. And everybody, after that earthquake, everybody started getting very friendly with black people. They figured we knew God or something.
You don't mess with a cat with a samurai sword and a bottle of whiskey.
No,
You just say, "Hi, neighbor."
Richard Pryor, born December 1st, 1940, collected 5 Grammy Awards for his comedy recordings, won a Primetime Emmy in 1973, and in 1998 became the very first person the Kennedy Center ever selected for their Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. That prize launched in 1998. Pryor's name was the first one chosen.
Hello? Hope I'm funny?
His Silver Streak in 1976 and Stir Crazy in 1980, both alongside Gene Wilder, cemented his film career, and his Grammy-winning 1974 album stands as one of the landmark recordings in American comedy history. His Tonight Show appearances through the 1960s and 70s were among the most electric of that entire era. And by 1998, when Pryor accepted the Mark Twain Prize from a wheelchair, multiple sclerosis having confined him there, the wit still arrived on schedule.
You always go to bars. When the guys get drunk, they started fighting. Some dudes would, get a beer for the house. 1 beer.
Asked about receiving an award named after Mark Twain, his response ran to 5 words. "I didn't know him personally. I noticed that most Pryor retrospectives pile up his albums and his films and never quite get around to what made his Carson appearances so special, which was his mastery of live conversation, the thing that can't be edited or rehearsed." Pryor passed on December 10th, 2005, at 65. Number 2, Ed Ames.
Let go of the tomahawk and zonk right in the very embarrassing region. And the audience absolutely collapsed and laughed for 2 or 3 minutes straight. It looked like something we had done electronically, and you couldn't have done it again if you'd have stood there for a century trying to do it.
On April 27th, 1965, a Tuesday evening in Burbank, California, Ed Ames walked onto The Tonight Show and accidentally produced what many consider the most replayed, unscripted moment across the show's entire 30-year run. Ames, born July 9th, 1927, arrived with real credentials, Juilliard-trained, Broadway-experienced, and at that point famous across America as Mingo, the Native American companion on the hit western Daniel Boone. He was also the youngest member of the Ames brothers, whose 1950s vocal hits included Sentimental Me and You, You, You. None of that mattered on April 27th, 1965. Carson had set up a wooden carved cowboy target on stage and invited Ames to demonstrate a tomahawk throw.
Welcome to Frontier Bridge.
Ames stepped up, took his aim, released, and the axe landed directly in the target's area. The studio audience erupted instantly and refused to stop. Carson lost his composure entirely. The laughter continued for an almost unbelievable stretch of time. And what nobody expected was that a trained singer on a Western TV show would accidentally create one of the most famous moments in talk show history. Ames lived to see that clip celebrated for nearly 6 decades, passing on May 21st, 2023 at 95. Number 1, Myrtle Young, the Potato Chip Lady.
This one, John.
No.
Here's my strongest contrarian argument in this entire video. The funniest guest Johnny Carson ever had on The Tonight Show was not a comedian, not an actress, not a musician, and not a celebrity of any recognizable kind. Her name was Myrtle Young. She worked as a potato chip plant inspector in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And on October 16, 1987, she sat across from Carson and produced what TV Guide officially named the single funniest moment in the history of television. Not the funniest Tonight Show moment, but the funniest television moment. Full stop, ranked ahead of every sitcom, every sketch show, every planned bit, every trained comedian who ever stepped in front of a camera.
What's that?
Oh, this is a calf, but he doesn't have any eyes. But,
But that does look like the head of a
shape
cat.
of a cow or a calf.
Right.
Young had spent years pulling uniquely shaped chips off the assembly line. Between 250 and 300 of them, chips that resembled faces, animals, and recognizable characters. And by the late 1980s, that collection had drawn enough national attention to land her a spot on The Tonight Show alongside guest James Galway.
No, I didn't.
She handled each chip with extraordinary care, which is the detail that made what happened next so perfectly timed. While Young looked away from her collection, Carson reached under his desk with the composure of a man who had hosted 4,531 episodes of live television and pretended to eat one of them. When she turned back, her face registered sheer, absolute horror. The audience went completely wild, and TV Guide's verdict followed. Funniest moment ever on television.
Excuse me. God. Poor Myrtle thought I was eating her collection.
And Young went on to tour nationally as the Potato Chip Lady after the appearance and donated her collection to the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo, passing on August 9th, 2014 at 90. And I'll say it plainly, that clip still lands perfectly today, 37 years after October 16th, 1987, because what Myrtle Young's face did in that moment was entirely real. Nothing about it was manufactured. That kind of comedy cannot be scheduled. 9 guests, 30 years, 4,531 episodes. And the funniest single moment across all of it came from a potato chip inspector from Indiana who trusted that her chips would be safe on a late-night talk show set. Carson ran The Tonight Show from 1962 to 1992. And what this list proves clearly is that the show's greatest moments were never the ones his writers planned. A tomahawk landing in exactly the wrong place on April 27, 1965, a wave machine knocking Betty White off her feet in 1983, Jonathan Winters becoming a completely different human being mid-sentence while Carson tried to keep up, Buddy Hackett turning a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame into a one-liner about Brooklyn. Most people frame Carson's legacy as a story about monologues and desk bits and celebrity interviews, and I think that gets it backwards. The real Carson legacy lives in those couch moments, the ones that went sideways, the ones nobody scripted, the ones where actual human beings were actually funny in real time in front of millions of people. That's what this show was. For anyone who grew up with The Tonight Show as a fixture of American life, who stayed up past their bedtime to catch it, who remembers exactly where they were sitting when Ames threw that tomahawk, these 9 guests are the reason why.